Hey gang, Crystal Grace here. Welcome to this pick a card reading, which is a career focus. So it was subscriber request. My apologies. I can't recall who asked for it a couple of weeks ago. I did reach out and ask what part of career you wanted me to focus on. Don't believe I got a response, and if I did, I've missed it. But what we'll do is we'll call upon your higher selves to connect with messages surrounding career and finances, particularly. So maybe how you can make better finances at this time, or maybe you just want to know what your money situation is going to look like. So we'll kind of sit with that, and then we'll just sort of see what comes through the cards and obviously through the download. So we do have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we've got card 64, bigger picture. Pile 2, we've got card 15, soul healing. And pile 3, we've got card 29, compassion. So take a moment to connect with one of those piles. Quick disclaimer, if the reading doesn't resonate with you, consider another pile or just accept that there is no messages for you. I do not sit here and conjure negative messages or energies to ruin your day, evening, or night, and nor do I sit here and do this thinking that not to serve a purpose, right? So you may not resonate with the message, but there are thousands of other people that will. And with that said, let's get into it. Let's find out what you need to know about career and money. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So I went ahead and pulled 2 cards from the Crystal Grid Oracle. So we've got card 64 and card 63. I was not aware of that until now. But we have bigger picture and impact. So maybe what's happening at the moment is you are looking at the bigger picture and what kind of impact it's going to have when it comes to career and finances. Or maybe something's recently happened and like something I'm like seeing, like, I know it's probably a bit morbid message, like a car smashing into a wall, right? So that's like hitting a dead end road or a blockage. So maybe what you're kind of facing at this time when it comes to career and finances, it's like you're going down different paths trying to maybe get ahead, get a head start in a career, get a head start in finances, and you keep hitting a dead end like wall or a blockage. And I feel like maybe you either need to be focusing on the bigger picture here, or as to why you keep hitting the dead end, like, or the blockage or the blocked roads or something. Or you are there, because rejection is protection. As much as like we hate rejection, at the end of the day, there is a blessing. It's a reason why, right? So if that resonates, then this would be your pile. But yeah, checking out angel number 6463 will obviously have some kind of message for you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use this money coming from. So I'm going to do tarot first. All right, and then we'll do the money oracle. Like, we'll do tarot in accordance with career, and then we'll pull the money oracle. Where can you get money from? So, all right, what does pile 1 need to know? And we will go ahead and call upon we'll just call upon Archangel Michael and the Legions of Light to consecrate these cards of art. All right. 3 cards. Page of Wands. King of Cups. And 5 of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. What do you need to know? Well, interestingly enough, we do have or elements on the table. And I kind of am like thinking about how I whacked the camera and it was like, look the other way, look a different way is what I feel. When it comes to your career, you could be looking down a path that you might think in the scheme of things, it's going to have more of an impact or something, maybe a positive impact, but maybe it's like the bigger picture would be not to look another way, like go another way. I don't know what that means. If you know what that means, drop it down in the comments. But just a quick call out on your sign placements here. We do have Pisces, we've got Aries, we've also got Aquarius, we've also got what's Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn and Sagittarius across those sign placements. Alrighty, so when I think about the Queen of Pentacles and what you need to know about your career, look, I kind of feel like like she's in the home, right? And the thing about Page of Wands, it's like it's a creativity card. It's a card that will talk about, you know, in the career aspects, like you've got the answers or you've got the capabilities or you've got some kind of skill, something in the home is what I feel. But I think at the moment I feel more called to address this whole look a different way. And I feel like the reason what you need to understand about your career at this time, pile one, is maybe you need to look at a different path, a different roadmap, because maybe at this point in time, like you've made sort of bad business moves or bad career moves. And it could be because you've had bad managers or like worked with really bad employees. So maybe working at home or working from home or having some kind of business endeavor that you can grow or establish at home is what I feel I'm seeing here. And this is something that, like, when I look at this lantern, this kid holding this lantern, I see like a young hermit, right? So this is something that means a lot to you. This is something that, like, I guess, like maybe fills your heart with warmth, like maybe it makes you warm and fuzzy. I just kind of think at the moment, the overall energy I'm picking up when it comes to your career is that it could be a bit chaotic because it's the path that you've chosen is a bit disorganized. You haven't really had a impactful plan put in place because you could be just looking at the bigger picture as opposed to like you could be like, well, I'm going to stay on this path because the bigger picture is like I'm going to have more money, but the impact on like whatever path you're on could actually be such a detriment. You never even like enjoy the money that comes because of the health implications or something along the lines of that. That's not going to resonate with everyone. I also feel like the Queen of Pentacles can talk about somebody being kind of shallow, overly materialistic. So the bigger picture for you might be to having this like high profile, like professional career, but at what cost, right? And I think I can put my 2 cents on that. Like I had a corporate career once upon a time, like it ended 6 years ago. And fuck me, it was terrible. Like I loved the job, but the people were fucked. Like the KPIs, so key performance indicators of the position, you'd smash them, they'd still want more from you. Like they'd want to be, like when you actually divided all the hours up by, like when you actually calculated the hours and divided that by your salary, like I was on like $7 an hour. So like, although the bigger picture was like, oh, I liked having this high profile position. Here she comes, ready to lay down and fuck shit up. I feel like, good girl. Yeah, I feel like that may have something to do with some of you. Like that may resonate. For others of you, the bad business partner, maybe you went into business with some bad people that kind of took advantage of your generosity here. either way, I think when it comes to your career, I think a lot of you want financial independence. You want wealth, right? You want success. But it's a matter of finding a good business to achieve that, is what I think for most part of you. So that's the overall energy. So career sense, when I think about the Page of Wands, it'd have to be a career that I guess would be deemed taking a risk, right? It's got to be a new venture. It's some kind of project, but it's a project you're working on a home, working in the home. It could have something to do with fruit, could have something to do with flowers. It could have something to do with like lighting, electricity, or something like this. Even haberdashery, terrible. Like real vintage. I kind of get old school German vibes from that. This is interesting. We do have the Justice card. She's got Christmas. Maybe it has something to do with Christmas, and it's funny because we do have the Nine of Cups there, and she's filled with a table with food. So it may have something to do with food, but I definitely feel like this career that you need to consider, or if you want the green light, which is funny because your two oracle cards are give me green. Give me. So I just feel like your career needs to be of interest to you. Like if you're not feeling inspired when you go to work, it's not the work for you. It's not the job for you. It's not the career for you. Like it's eating at your soul is what I feel you need to know. Like you need to be doing something that makes you feel like you're at home. Like I think you need to be following a path where like you feel like you're happy for it to be a second home. Hello. So beautiful. It's funny, she's been outside. I actually understand. I've been doing some research about cats and spiritual protection, and she only does this when I come on here, and it's not to say I don't know. There must be just negative people who watch the like in the audience for her to always come, because like she always comes, don't you, to do your little job. And it's probably the people who blow up and get angry about the cat. I don't know. It's weird that she always comes when I do the YouTube readings most of the time. So maybe you need to be a bit more protective about these ideas, especially if you've had people maybe you've shared what you're going to do and people have taken your ideas. Maybe you've shared ideas and then people have sort of sabotaged your ideas through planting seeds of doubt. I think when it comes to this new career or like business redirection, you need to keep quiet about it. Like think hermit, right? Even old mate King of Cups there is sitting on his own, drinking his like whiskey or probably red wine there. Even the Five of Swords, right? When you don't share your knowledge or business with people, guess what they do? They fucking get a bee in their bonnet and they'll be like, oh, why? Just tell me what you're doing. And they can get aggressive and angry and combative. I feel like you need to be aware, like that's going to happen. When you go down a new path and you choose to not share this knowledge with anyone, I feel like that Five of Swords is telling us like, you're going to probably feel a bit isolated because you're not going to be able to share it. And I think you do like to share. Like these guys over here look like two fuckwits and she's here sitting here quite sad. This kind of gives me a romantic vibes. It kind of gives me not just romantic sibling energy. You know, when you tell your siblings like you have some great idea and then they just try and tell you it's shit because they're jealous that didn't like come up with it themselves. I think you work with people like that too, pole one. So definitely keep all your ideas to yourself. But I definitely think this new career for you, or to bring new finances with like good finances towards you or a good abundance, this is something that you will feel like you have to take a risk. It's definitely a new venture. It's not something that you have done before. You may have to travel for it as well with this Page of Wands, but keep all of this under wraps. You know, sit at home by yourself. Maybe you want to buy a boat. Maybe you want to live on a boat. Can't live on a boat if you don't have the money to buy a boat, right? I don't know. And maybe I'm also getting the feeling here, like when you start a business on your own, you're going to be alone, right? You have to make all the decisions alone, especially if you're surrounded by combative energies, people that you can't really confide in because they get jealous and then they plant seeds of doubt. You are going to feel very isolated, and that's okay. Like, it's you just got to suck it up, really. There's nothing there's no other way to tell you that. Like, if you want to make something of yourself, and I'm positive that you do, you just need to stop fucking around and just do it. Stop trying to find an easier way to get to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture could be just living in your own home, you know, buying lots of presents for friends and family, you know, chilling out in your own home. I don't know what it is here, but I definitely feel like you already know a way to make money. You already know a career path you can take. But you've had too many people like call out financial issues. You've had too many people say like it's going to create financial instability. You're going to get bored of that, like something along the lines of that, right? What else? King of Cups. I think on the back end of that, like me telling you to like just get on with it, as long as you are moving, right, to like moving in logic and practical decision making, right, or like operating from a logical and practical stance or process when it becomes to decision, you need to trust, right? Think about Queen of Cups, intuitive as fuck, right? The King of Cups is also very intuitive, you know, probably on equal par here, but the King of Cups will obviously operate logically as well as practically and intuitively. And I think as long as your logic, your practical, and your intuition are all aligning, that's your green light. And I think when you stop telling people what you want to do and how you want to do it, you're going to see a lot of green lights and you're going to feel a lot of like green energy, like go, 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 you're doing this. And the key thing is to always move slowly, right? Don't go too fast too soon. Do not go and throw a fuck ton of money into a project too soon. You can start things from scratch. You can start things with the bare minimum amount of money. I actually think whatever idea you have to like whatever this is, to look the other way, look at something that you know you can create. Like you have the green light. You're going to be well liked and respected, not only by the people around you, but maybe current colleagues, employees, because I feel like you're still going to do your everyday job, your 3D job. And this career path is going to, I feel like, move you out of that job eventually. And that's when this like sense of respect comes in from other people, not just colleagues, family. It will lead to financial stability. Pile number one is what I feel. And I just think before we move on to the money oracle cards, this Five of Swords energy, right? Yeah, no more open conversations about what you're doing, right? Because things that you're trying to improve is going to bring sabotage to your project is what I feel you need to understand, right? I also feel like a lot of you with this Five of Swords coming out, you may just need a different job, okay? This is another thing. If you've got this, like, well, you have a project that can lead you towards financial success. You don't need to stay in the job that you're currently in if you've got a project that's going to lead to financial success. So maybe with this Five of Swords, like if you are dealing with tension and stress in the workplace, intimidation, right, bullying, I do feel called to say, like, start looking for another job. It may not pay as well as what you're paying, but if it frees up more time for you to move towards this project, and for most of you, maybe it's about once that project gets moving and you start bringing income in for that project, for that new venture, you can then start looking at other, like, jobs to pay bills, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. And then when we're in healthy environments, they obviously impact our the things that we're working on. Like, they definitely impact our hobbies, our side hustles more positively, because we're not having our energy drained by like toxic, seedy people, if that makes sense. Because Five of Swords definitely tells me like some of you are in a toxic work environment. Now, the other message I get with the Five of Swords is that as you move towards this career, right, this new project, I think you're going to have a lot of people who, you know, are going to be kind of hostile towards you. They may start arguments with you. They may like start disputes with you, some kind of conflict or tension. Now, when people go out of their way to behave like that, it's because you're doing something right. Yeah. When people come for you or attack you for absolutely no fucking reason, it is only because you are triggering something in them. They see what you're doing. That's something that they've probably wanted to do or admire it. And instead of just acknowledging that, and saying, you know, like, amazing work, you know, you bring out their inner demon, so to speak. Alrighty, so let's see what you need to know about finances. So we've got perfection, wisdom. So, all right, so I'm liking this. So give up your perfectionism. It's causing delays in your finances, right? Just start it. It doesn't have to be fucking perfect, right? And look, you probably have strong Virgo in you if that really resonates, because like, yeah, I can understand that. So you won't move forward if you don't conquer the fear of failure, and you have what it takes to improve your finances. You have enough. So you already have the knowledge, right? You have to understand that the only way we learn is through failure. Nobody learns nothing from success, because, well, success comes from failure, right? People don't share their their failure. They don't share their flaws. And they don't share their flaws. Fuck. So then we've got planner, right? Take stock of your finances and identify what needs to change. So energy I'm picking up there is a more stricter budget. Stop wasting your money on shit and invest any money left over from your current income in towards towards this project. It could be painting materials. It could be some kind of like, I don't know, it could be stationery, it could be a new computer, it could be a camera, right? But you need to start planning and you need to start budgeting your finances. So explore careers in event planning, project management, or professional organizing. So if this is about career, then that is a sign about different jobs you could look at going into other than the job that you're in now, because event planning, project management, professional organizing, they're jobs that have a lot of free time. Well, not a lot of free time, but like when there's an event happening, it's obviously super busy around the event time, but then things get a bit quiet. So when things get quiet, you're able to spend more time on this. But it could even be events. You could even want to go into event management here, because when I look at this and like the presents and then the Nine of Cups here, you could want to want a restaurant, technically. I just think you're listening to too many people around you who obviously don't believe in you, right? No one's going to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. So then we've got helper, as I sit here and say that. So think before you offer help and set healthy time boundaries. Look into jobs like cashier, sales, or call center roles where you can assist others. Make sure your goals align with your own desires. And let's go back here. It's crucial to make a plan so that each day counts. So you could be a person with like ADHD, ADD, OCD, that sort of stuff. So you may need to start making lists and planning your day to your week to your month. And as time moves, what you're going to find is you're going to be accomplishing a whole lot more by having a planner. Like, you need to probably go and get one of those big black planners, you know, those big folders, and it looks like, oh God, like a big library book. And obviously it doesn't have to be like that black leather one that's in my mind's eye, but, you know, it could be fun with colors and stuff. But, you know, those gigantic ones, and the reason why I'm recommending a gigantic one is because you like to write a lot of information, or like you have a lot of notes or something like that. But we do have help here. So maybe this other job that can help you get through this process is working in retail, right? Retail is pretty easy to work in, like, to a degree, except for like, it is easy, but it isn't easy. Maybe working in a call center, something like this. I think a police hotline would be really interesting, like, be messed up, but it'd also be quite interesting. So maybe somebody wants to work in a police hotline. Make sure your goals align with your own desires and not others. Exactly. I think to be fair, I don't know if this is really going to resonate. It could be just this last point, like, just because what you desire and it's not what others do, like, stop ignoring what you want to do is what I do feel is coming through there. Like, don't settle, right? Settling isn't going to help you. Settling isn't going to make you feel like you've made something or done something of value in this life. It's going to actually make you think, fuck, I settled, and what if I did this, and what if I did that? And you don't ever want to sit in your rocking chair at 80 and think, fuck, I wasted my life because I settled, right? So that is a very strong and assertive message I will end this reading on. Put a little green love heart down in the comments if this resonated. I'm sorry, it was probably a bit of tough love. But yeah, hopefully it found the right audience. So I send all the love and light from the universe to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose Soul Healing, card number 15, and I also went ahead and pulled a second crystal grid oracle, which is Heart Center. Tangerine is really standing out for me. It kind of gives me like real fruity tooty or something. Maybe you like fruity drinks. Maybe like a fruit cordial is also coming through, but I don't know why, but mango daiquiris. But we do have card 15 and card 43. So check out angel number 1543. There will be a message there for you. We are tapping into career and finances. And I kind of feel like for some of you, like, maybe you are going through like a rising phoenix, death of soul. I don't know if death of soul or dark night of the soul situation at the moment. It's really activating the heart center, or the heart chakra, I should say. The thing about going through soul healing, it can really disrupt our energy. It can make us not want to go to work. It can make us not want to leave the house. It can make us not want to socialize with anyone, right? It can even make us not even want to go sit in nature. But I definitely feel like you guys need to spend a bit of time in nature to ground, to earth yourself. Your root chakra could be overactive. And when it's overactive, we can lean more to aggression tendencies and aggravation or irritation, like everyone just fucking annoys me kind of energy. Some of you may have hormonal changes or imbalances happening. Definitely reach out to like a professional to see if hormonal replacement is something that you can explore if you are resonating with that energy. And, you know, this day and age, I'm obviously not a health professional, but just speaking from my own experience, like it's a simple blood test to have a checkup on hormonal imbalances. Okay. So other energies I'm kind of picking up here. Some of you may be getting called to currently leave your workplace in order to follow like a soul's calling, like your soul's calling, right? This may have something to do, when I think about the heart center, this could be something to do with counseling, like assisting like those in need, like with disabilities, the elderly. You may actually be being called to go and work in those industries where you're going to get more rewards from helping as opposed to whatever it is you're currently doing at this time, which could be very like, I don't know, 3D. It could be like some of you could be tradies, you could work in hospitality, and look, everyone needs to be fed. But yeah, I kind of think for others of you, maybe once this healing has done in regards to yourself, maybe your soul is going to want something different. And then I think the last message before I pull these cards, some of you are ignoring what your heart wants. So you're ignoring what you actually want to do. And it could be about finances, right? A lot of people don't leave their current jobs because the financial whether it's the financial abundance or the financial stability is what keeps them there. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're probably not in the job that you wish you could be in, or something's going to happen after a period of healing that's going to put you in that headspace or that heart space, I should say. So if that resonates, this is your pile. So I'm being called to simply pull these tarot cards for this pile, to simply look at the careers affiliated with the tarot for these cards, to assist with maybe what kind of jobs you need to start upskilling yourself in. So pile 1 didn't have this kind of like energy. It was a different reading. But what I am hearing with the 8 of Pentacles is this next part, like the career that you are meant to follow, or the career path you are meant to be on, is something that is going to require work, inside work, at work and at home is what I think I'm trying to say. So before we jump into it, so we have 8 of Pentacles, we've got the strengths, the strong Leo energy there, Magician, we've got strong Gemini, Virgo, Taurus, Libra energy. We've also got Capricorn energy, and we also have Virgo energy. So you don't have to have those sign placements, but if you do, great. And if you don't, that's also great. It's not a problem. Alrighty. So 8 of Pentacles is the overall energy about this career. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a card that will talk about education, right? Educating ourselves. It's also a card that talks about becoming an expert in our field, but we don't become experts without commitment and dedication, right? No one becomes a master at anything without actually putting the effort in, putting the work in. For others of you, I feel like with this 8 of Pentacles, something you need to understand about your career at the moment is success is on the way. Some kind of promotion is also on their way because of some recent accomplishment you've made at work, right? So that's just a side note. Hopefully that applies to all of you. But I feel like whatever this success or promotion or accomplishment is about is going to level up your financial independence, right? Because it's going to be some kind of financial reward. I also think with the 8 of Pentacles, if you are feeling really bored and lacking motivation in the job, then just know that you're going through a healing phase or a transitional, rising phoenix era or moment, I should say. And do your best to not overspend to make yourself feel happy, and do your best to not care less too much, right? It's easy to get in that like mindset where we don't give a fuck. But whilst you were going through this transitional period at this time, I feel like that's just a side note. You don't want to bite off the hand that feeds you, is what I'm hearing. So maybe people at work don't want to hear, don't want to experience low quality mindset or something, don't want you producing low quality like assets or something like that because of your carelessness or something, because you're lacking motivation. So just another side note, won't resonate with everyone, but something that needed to be addressed. Okay. Now, thinking about these cards in correlation to occupation. Obviously, when the Strength card comes out, it's going to be something that on top of the Eight of Pentacles, like you're going to have to dig deep to find the energy, I think, to pursue these careers. For some of you, it could be like thinking about working in careers involving caring for animals and or people, which is what we've already tapped in. But some of you are done with people. You're so sick of it. So caring for animals is something that you may be more interested in. So it could even just be doing a course with like wires or those like wildlife rescue people. They're volunteers, but volunteering is the first stepping stone towards a career like that, right? Because it's a very hard industry to get into. They don't just let anyone do it, and you have to prove yourself by volunteer work. So it's more about doing the job that you're currently in, because obviously that's paying quite well based off the Eight of Pentacles energy I've picked up, but looking at doing some kind of course that's going to help feed your soul once the healing has been achieved. It's also going to fill your heart with a lot of love and a lot of joy, because I think you're healers, you're helpers. So any jobs that require like, you know, real hands-on work to help people. It could even be helping the homeless, right? But this person's outside. They're all outside except for this person. She's sewing. Could even be making clothes for less fortunate people, women's shelter, that sort of stuff, right? Other careers that that are aligned with the Strength is, funnily enough, a dentist, right? And a human resource officer, right? Or it could be a coordinator. I personally not a fan of human resources because, well, you have to be a bitch, and that's my honest opinion. It's the only reason why I didn't pursue my career down HR, because I didn't want to have to be a cunt to people who didn't deserve that. And yeah, HR people have to be fucking nasty. And unfortunately, well, that's my opinion. You may not agree, but it's not to say that they're not nice people outside of work, but in work, they're like fucking brutal. And I just wouldn't be able to, I just find that very fake energy. You can come to work and be like this mega cunt, and then you can leave work and be like a normal, healthy, happy person. Like that blows my mind. I don't know how people do that. Yeah, well, habits might make them do that. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I digress. Four of Pentacles, right? These are professions that are like in established firms. I'm kind of picking up investor in some way, shape, or form. It's like investing. It's investing in yourself, but investing in, like, it could be like stock exchange, crypto, or it could be something to do with some kind of money. But he's not holding money. He's holding fruit and veg. I don't know. It kind of looks homeless. I actually feel like for a lot of you, that's not that job is. It's working with the homeless. It's working with the disadvantaged communities in your area is what I really picking up. Like maybe it's like working with firms or businesses to like build up revenue. So what do you call those people? Like they are like charity workers, but I don't know. I do feel like for this group, charity work is something that's really going to feed your soul at this time. I don't know if this is something that you can do full time or if this is something that's just going to help you feel like you're making a difference in this world at this in coinciding with your 3D or maybe your 5D job if you're lucky to have that. If that makes sense. I just think you're kind of going through a rough patch at the moment. Maybe the universe has presented some kind of tower moment, shaking up your home, or I don't know. I kind of see an earthquake or some kind of earthquake. So things could feel quite unstable for you guys at the moment internally, but like things do pass. They always do pass. I don't know. I'm definitely going to stick with the Four of Pentacles. This card is not really linked with working with the homeless, but I think working with the homeless for a lot of you would actually be very rewarding. And it may not be something that you ever thought about doing, or it could have been something, it may have never been something that you thought was possible, right? And then we have the Magician. So this is careers in sales, right? Communication. It's communication through the phone, the internet, obviously computers itself. But it kind of gives me the impression that like the sales side of this card I'm picking up, it's sort of like promoting to be some kind of promoting a service through, you know, phone, internet, communicating a service in order to like attract investors, thinking about the Four of Pentacles as well. So whether or not it's got something to do with like marketing, for like some kind of less fortunate group in your area, like this is something you already have thought about that maybe you didn't think was possible, or maybe you want to know what's going to feed the soul. And I definitely feel like you guys may have money. You may have money in the bank. So you may have got to a point in your life where you're like, well, I've got the money, but I'm still unhappy. So doing this sort of work is not going to be like huge when it comes to financial abundance, but it's more about what's feeding the heart, what's feeding the soul. So this could be just something that you do on the side of the career that you have already because of that promotion or that accomplishment or the success energy we originally picked up. So I'm going to move towards the finance cards. So let's just see what comes through. This pile 2 need to know. Activation. So yeah, you're unlocking your soul's purpose and receiving divine gifts. Tap into your ancestral memory and inner wisdom to awaken your soul, focusing too much on the material world at the expense of the spiritual world. Yeah, so maybe for some of you, this is like maybe helping people spiritually. Like you're not going to know until this soul activation happens, but this is giving me that confirmation you are healing something at the soul level at the moment. Once that is healed, there is going to be a spiritual activation for you. Some of you are receiving divine gifts, so it could be, you know, having a stronger intuition, like doing stuff like this, right? What I'm doing right now are like one-on-one readings are honestly such a rewarding thing, like, and that's why I keep my readings very cheap. So I don't do them expensive so everyone can afford them, and not firing shots at people who have expensive readings, but I don't need that like money. Look, it's not to say that money's great and we can always have more money, but I have a good paying 3D job, so I don't need to charge extensive amounts for my my 5D job, because that's what I would call this. So you guys, some of you may resonate with that, but I feel like you could be focusing too much on the material world and now you're kind of burnt out. So I feel like your soul tribe is pushing you towards some kind of soul healing, and some kind of heart activation is going to unfold. Maybe eat more citrus fruit during this time with that tangerine energy. But something is happening in your third eye. You're going to start seeing things very differently. All right, so what else do we have? So we have Gaia, love that. Trust that the universe has a bigger plan for you than you can imagine. Protecting the plants, using herbs, or working with nature in some way, and spend time in nature to heal, soothe your mind, and regroup. I'm here, like, using herbs, growing herbs is something that you're going to find very therapeutic through your moment of healing. And then work smart. So are you complicating things? Often the solutions are simpler than you think. It's time to clean up both personally and professionally for a fresh start. I'm hearing clearing energy, right? Clean up the energy and focus on your basic needs when spending and saving some money. So yeah, obviously when you're spending money, just spend what you need, not what you want. And that's also going to like help with rainy day money. You could be overthinking things. Like you could be thinking, like hypothetically, if this whole like volunteer thing is really resonating with you, like you could be thinking too further down the road. You've got to come back and think about taking baby steps. Stop thinking 25 steps ahead. Come back and start at the very beginning. And Rome's not built in a day, and understanding that it doesn't matter if you start volunteering now, hypothetically, in wires or something like that. But you, like, I reach out to these organizations that you have to reach out to become a volunteer. Most of the time they don't even get back to you. They give zero fucks, and that's because they're busy. They've also got a job, an everyday job, and like you actually have to be very persistent in trying to get their attention to be considered for a volunteer training course with them, which obviously should be free. Well, in Australia they're free, but it's very hard to get these people's attention. So if you try a couple of times and then you're like, fuck it, no one's getting back to me, then obviously you're being called to like work smarter, like understand that these people are busy and they're not going to answer your call straight away. And volunteering is, they don't just let anyone come in and volunteer. You really have to like, prove that you're not like Satan. So I feel like the work smart energy is understanding that maybe go and do a bit of research on the easiest way to get your foot in the door in whatever, social injustice project you want to work on or work with, because that's sort of the vibe I'm picking up for you guys, is that there is some kind of social injustice service that you would like to be a part of, and that's definitely going to feed your soul. That's definitely going to fill your heart with warmth. So that's what I have for you guys, right? Good luck unlocking this, but let me know down in the comments with a little blue love heart if this resonated, and I will see you next time. Bye. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose compassion and angels. So we do have card 29 and 19. If you feel called to, check out angel number 2919. Word of affirmation or maybe positive reinforcement, right? When you treat failure as information, not shame, you turn every loss into a stepping stone. And I feel like with this compassion and angels energy here is like you guys need to have more compassion for yourself and for the choices you've made in life. For some of you, you feel like you've left things too late to pursue a certain career, or you've left things too late to have like the best possible finances for yourself. But I feel like with the angels card coming out, they're here, they're around you. Maybe you're not listening, right? Or the fact that you feel like you've failed so many times, or maybe you fear failure, that you've kind of given up hope. But I think the first thing you need to remind yourself is, and I think I said it in poll 2, maybe 1, if you do not fail, you do not learn. Success does not come from success, it comes from failing. Like if you just do something and it's like, it's so successful straight off the bat, that's a fluke, right? Flukes don't start businesses. Well, actually, they do, but they don't sustain them, right? It's through this process of failing that we are then served the information to ensure that each stepping stone is, achieved in a very logical and a practical manner. Like if you don't know what to look out for, then how are you going to know you've got to look out for it, right? And hypothetically, if you were to fluke a business and it just went gazelle overnight and you missed all those certain stepping stones, you're not going to know what to look out for to keep that business running, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And then I'm hearing, well, like people like with Facebook and stuff like that. If you look at Facebook, it didn't just was successful straight away. It was other people's ideas, and it was an idea evolved from other people's ideas. So, whoever was trying to infiltrate my mind then. But yeah, I think with the angels here, like maybe your career is about working with your angels, right? Or maybe it's angel work. So let's get into it. If that resonates, cool. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Three of Wands. We've got the Hermit. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. And we've got really awkward camera view. What have we got here? So we've got Virgo, we've also got Scorpio, we've got Libra. We also have Aries, and obviously strong Virgo with the Hermit. Ten of Pentacles. That Knight of Cups energy, it's like you really need to be doing something that, you love, right? And you cherish. Maybe some of you really like reading. Maybe you need to write a book. Maybe you need to be writing about things that you love as well. And that might seem a little far-fetched. Like when I've listened to tarot readings and like the reader is saying like, you need to write a book. I'm like, yeah, right. Who the fuck's going to listen and read my book? There will be people out there. You just need a good catchy title page and title page. I feel like the Ten of Pentacles is about legacy, right? And foundations and traditions. So maybe what you need to know about career and finances at the moment, career, is that it has to make you feel like you're leaving a legacy behind. It has to be something that seems quite like, I don't want to say dear to your heart, but something where I feel like the foundations have already been laid, right? I feel like you've already got a wealth of knowledge for whatever this career has to do with, right? I don't know. I kind of actually think for a lot of you with this Ten of Pentacles, like you could already be in a very secure and stable job, and you could be trying to build a long-lasting position in the firm that you are. And I think based off all of these cards coming out, maybe what you need to understand is that you have a good job at the moment. And maybe you feel like with that energy coming through with the compassion angels, like maybe you've failed to actually follow what your heart wants, maybe. because maybe you have attempted to pursue what your heart wants, but you failed. But you can have your cake and eat it too, right? And I think when you trust the fact that when you treat failure as information and not to shame yourself for it, you turn every loss into a stepping stone. Some of you could have family money here, right? And maybe it's sort of like, or were forced to join the family business, something along the lines of that. And instead of speaking up and saying, hey, like I'd actually rather pursue something else, you've kind of, I don't know, stuck with the roots of the family or something along the lines of that. Just give me a sec. I feel like the energy is hard to maybe what it is for others of you, like you do need to have compassion for yourself. It's about wealth, right? So maybe you try and build savings, you're trying to build wealth, right? You're trying to build a stable future, but you keep failing at it. And it could be the fact that you're not listening to your angels, or maybe you're not letting your angels help, okay? I think for most of you, that's what it is. You are trying to build 10 of Pentacles, and it's fucking hard, especially if you're working class. Hello, you know, it's hard to it's hard to build wealth when you had no wealth to start with, right? Don't do that. Off you go. So let's look at the Knight of Cups. I do want to look at, don't, because the camera's there, and if you move it, just sit there. Don't. All right. I just want to look at the Knight of Cups, the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's funny because Healer is connected with the Hermit, and from memory, the Knight of Cups is, what's Three of Wands on there? Three of Wands is freelancer, writer, and then an artist or some kind of inventor in trade and enterprises. And then the Knight of Cups, yeah, is a writer again. So some of you, you need to write something. Maybe you need to write about your family. Maybe you need to write about like you yearning for wealth, right? Or writing about like how hard it is to acquire wealth when you come from nothing, right? Health is also linked with the Knight of Cups, healthcare provider. Some of you could have come from pile 2, so thank you if you did. And there's also a musician as well. So writer, pants on fire. I don't know why I said that. It's so lame. But it's definitely here. Like you guys are artists, so there's something that you can do with your hands. But he's sitting there reading and he's thinking, right? Maybe you need to spend more time outside at night to really activate the knowledge within, or to activate, I don't know, maybe your soul in connecting with what you need to write about, right? Or it could be the fact that the best time for you to write is at night time. Well, because in the daytime, there's too many distractions and things disrupting what you're trying to do. Like Luna, fucking up my show. You're lucky, so pretty. We'll just put this here. Three of Wands. What else can we say about the Three of Wands? I don't know. It is a card that talks about, you know, new beginnings but big opportunities, right? Like when you move towards something new, like you're saying yes to a new opportunity. And I feel like for a lot of you, you have the opportunity for a big opportunity if you follow this path, right? It will lead to wealth. It will lead to financial independence. It will lead to a legacy, right? A legacy for your family. And I love to see that the Six of Cups is underneath there. It's like you watching your grandchildren not have to worry about money. I think for a lot of you who have picked this pile, you could have been born into families where there wasn't a lot of money, like, you know, your parents had to watch every penny. And I feel like with this Three of Wands, it's telling us like something you need to understand about your career is like, if you say yes to the new opportunities, if you say yes to the new ideas, like there's going to be large rewards and financial stability. Some of you will have to travel for this, is what I'm hearing. I don't know. I feel like it will expand in some way, shape, or form. Well, when you think about it, if you're going to launch a book, the best thing to do is to do like book tours, right? I don't think they're old anymore. I think people stopped doing book tours, and I think a lot of people like doing them. Do you just here for a free massage? Is that what you're here for? I don't know. I think another message coming through with this Three of Wands, like if you are lacking any kind of growth in your current career and there's obstacles and challenges and, you know, management are delaying, like, you know, any kind of achievements that would lead to financial goals, you need to start taking charge and maybe speaking up more. Like if you want more money and you're doing like two people's jobs at work, I feel like you need to start like believing in yourself and knowing that like you can't work for free. I don't work for free. Like when the time's up for me to leave, I'm out. Why should I have to work for free? Your hair is everywhere, Luna. Alrighty, and then we've got the Hermit. Don't. Get over there. Maybe for some of you, you are trying to learn that money doesn't bring happiness, but makes life easier, right? And financial stress is like the one of the worst kind of stresses, because not being able to pay for things or pay for bills and shelter, like that puts you in a whole like level of darkness, right? But a career aspect of the Hermit would suggest like you are currently trying to figure out your purpose, and maybe you just don't know which way to go. Like, and I think it's, you do know what way to go, but you don't trust the process, or you don't trust that it could actually lead you to big opportunities. You don't trust it's going to lead you to a financial stability and wealth. It also suggests to me, sorry, I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm laughing at this cat because she never wants affection, and then now she wants affection. Like I try and give my cats a lot of affection, and they only want it when I'm busy. Be like a kid. Yeah, like I think for a lot of you, if you're not fulfilled in your current career or your job, like you need to start thinking, well, is this the right career for me? You know, you need to start thinking, well, what kind of work makes me happy? So writing obviously makes you guys happy. Something to do with your artist, creative side. Maybe you did come from pile one. Maybe some of you chose pile one and pile three. And that is why Luna is being a pain in my ass and your ass right now. Come here. Because maybe the message is for you to go back to pile one. Pile 1's reading was very different to Pile 2. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there because obviously Luna wants all my love and time and attention. I'm sorry that that's annoying for people. But yeah, let me know if that resonated. Actually, no, Luna, I haven't finished. My bad. We do have 3 more cards to pull. I'm sorry. Don't. So show us finances. So we've got take action, right? So whatever your question, this is telling you to go for it. Stop procrastinating and take the next step to move forward. Just do it. Put pen to paper, Pile 3. Like that's the first step, right? If writing down something to bring you more money or to follow your soul's calling, then that would be your first step. Nothing will change if you don't take action. Don't let opportunities pass you by. And there is a big opportunity here for you when it comes to something you love, right? It comes to something that you're very passionate about. We've got unfulfilled. You might be emotionally attached to a job that no longer serves you. Reflect on your wants and needs and consider making a change. You're unhappy with your income but afraid to make changes. So maybe you don't earn enough, but what are you doing about it, Pile 3, to make more money? You are a money-making machine is what I'm hearing. You've got something inside of you that can make you money, but maybe you're just too afraid to write about it because it could be quite controversial. You could have family members who don't want you to write about it. Now we've got laborer, right? So your hard work will pay off soon. Keep going. I feel like for a lot of you, you are working hard, and some of you are hardly working. So take it as it resonates. But if you are working hard, it will pay off soon. If you're hardly working, well, there's going to be no payoff is what I'm hearing. Careers in construction, maintenance, painting. So there's that creative aspect, or any type of labor work. Anything that requires you to be, well, I was going to say for you to be like the robot, for you to be like the person that brings it to life. So hard work is key. What lasts will never come easily. So I think maybe for some of you, you know, 10 of Pentacles, if you're not born into 10 of Pentacles, it's going to be hard work to get to 10 of Pentacles, but you're not going to get there like sitting around, well, feeling sorry for yourself, but you're not going to get there if you're not putting pen to paper, if you're not putting in the work that requires for financial stability to come in. Spending too much is obviously was addressed here, and we do have student on the bottom of the deck. Maybe you need to work with a mentor to acquire new skills or learn how to implement your plans. Maybe you need to talk to somebody, right? Maybe you need to pursue a higher education or working for a school district. So maybe you need to go to uni for what you want to do. You know, if you do want to become a writer, well, obviously going to uni and doing like an English degree, English major or whatever is definitely going to be extremely beneficial, but it doesn't mean you have to. Like if you're going to sit there and write a biography about how shitty your life was, you don't need to go to uni for that. You write your story and then you work with a mentor who did go to uni and you get them to edit, right? So there are other ways around you know, writing a book or doing whatever it is. You do what you want to do and then you find somebody who's already done it and you pay for their service or something along the lines of that. Learn to manage money yourself or hire a financial advisor for help. So again, stop spending money on shit you don't need. So that is what I've got. I'm sorry for Luna being Luna. Put a little pink love heart down in the comment section if this was helpful for you in any way. Sending all the love and light from the universe to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.